Hey guys, today I'm going to show you just a very quick mat routine to strengthen core for beginners. My father-in-law was told by his doctor to strengthen his core because he had his prostate and bladder removed due to cancer, and he's doing excellent, but he needs core strength and he needs pelvic floor engagement, which is a lot of times not discussed during core training. So we're just going to do about 5 exercises to show you for beginner standpoints. I'll give you some modifications. If you have never done Pilates or strengthen your core, which when I first started I hadn't either, even though I went to the gym, I never did abs or core. So it's just a good mat routine. I get a lot of questions from my new clients saying, what can I do at home? This is what you can do at home, okay? I'm going to be doing it on a mat here, but obviously you can do this on the floor at home. So here are some props. When we're working into a mat routine and how I teach Pilates, I use what I call neutral pelvis, which means your lower back will not be imprinted into the mat, looking something like this. So I would have a relatively flat pelvis, ribcage calm. My lower back is not imprinted. Imprinted would be tucked, my pubic bone would be more up towards the ceiling. I don't believe in tucking because it doesn't strengthen the back, and the back is part of your core. So when we're doing these exercises, what you want to do, if you feel that you're straining your lower back because you can't push it into the mat, or that you can't stop from pushing it into the mat, you're going to use a prop. Awesome, great prop we have at home, depending on the curve in your lower back, is a washcloth or a larger hand towel. So let's just say I need the washcloth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it, I'm going to fold it into 3s. And this is going to just be my lumbar support. If you have a larger gap or a larger curve in your lumbar spine, then you'll want to use a larger towel. So I'm going to just use this one for right now. I'm going to keep this by me for other stuff I'm about to show you. So I'm using my lumbar towel. I do recommend this as a helpful tool to beginners. It is in the very, very low back. Is not near my mid-back. It is low, kind of on the top of my pelvic crest, supporting my lumbar spine. It's also giving me proprioception, an idea of where I am in space. So I'm going to keep my hands to the sides, and I'm going to just breathe into the length of my spine. Again, pubic bone flat, rib cage as calm as it can be. I'm just going to breathe. So then I'm going to challenge myself by going into a tabletop position. So this will be our main working position for this little exercise. I'm going to bend my right leg into tabletop and then left leg. So now I have my knees stacked directly over my pelvis. You'll automatically feel your stomach engage. Now you're going to feel it kind of pooch and try to hold. We want to go to below that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to inhale to prepare. And just to put on my corset, I'm going to exhale, lift through my pelvic floor, flatten my low belly, and pull the sides of my spine towards one another to support my low back on an exhale. So this first exercise is just breathing in tabletop. Seeing in every exhale, if you can have the weight of your legs sink deeper into your lower abdomen. So you're just kind of holding that position. If this seems like too much, your modification would just go to a relaxed tabletop and take the weight of the shin away. So this would be my first. You could then advance it by floating the arms off the mat and breathing, or hovering the arms up to the ceiling and breathing. But again, my cue is to inhale to the length of my spine. I'm going to exhale, lift through my pelvic floor, coursing through my low belly, and support my low back. I'm looking to not grip my six-pack. I want to go below that to my rectus abdominis. I know these are probably foreign names to most, but really feel like you're saran wrapping your midsection, calming your ribcage down. I would say if you could practice doing this for 30 seconds to a minute and then having a rest, that would be great. That's a great start. So then let's just quickly explain the pelvic floor lift. So when you're lifting through your pelvic floor, imagine you're on a car trip and you have to go number 1 and number 2 very badly, and you haven't made it to your rest stop yet. So you need to lift out. The pelvic floor goes from the tailbone to the pubic bone. It holds all of our main kind of organs. So for men, it would be your prostate, your bladder, and your bowels. For women, it would be our bladder, our uterus and bowels. So really, when I say lift, like lift up your organs, pull your organs against your spine, lift up through that area in your body. So that's what I'm cueing through your pelvic floor lift, or internal lift is another cue I use for it. So here's our next exercise. I'm going back down into my tabletop. Here's my towel for stability. If I'm a beginner, if not, you don't have to have it. Arms are down by the sides. I always take a breath to start. Inhale. As I exhale, I turn on my corset by lifting through my pelvic floor and turning on my deep, deep, deep abdominals. I really like try to imagine that I'm pulling my organs up against my spine, and the spine in the back like I'm tying a really tight belt or apron to help keep everything in. Again, a corset type like position. So what I'm going to do is an open and close with the legs in tabletop. So I'm going to inhale, open the legs apart, keeping them in a nice 90-90 position. As I exhale, I'm going to lift through my pelvic floor and corset myself. I'm going to inhale to open, exhale to close. Now your modification would be, again, a relaxed tabletop. Inhale to open, exhale to close. What you're looking not to do is to round the low back into the mat, which will immediately feel your stomach pooch up. If you're feeling it become poochy, then you need to stop and reset your position. Or if you're losing your low back connection, you're starting to arch and the rib cage is flaring up. That's all a sign that this is not happening correctly. Really and truly, if you can be in tabletop, and especially after getting better at it, feel that you can hold your legs into your abdomen and you barely feel your legs, and especially any of the front of the thigh, then you are good to go. That means you're using your psoas, your legs are floating from your core, and if you're shaking, that's another good sign. But a really good cue, especially for pelvic floor training, is as you close, exhale first, then lift through the pelvic floor. Pick everything up internally, both front to back. This would be lifting into our areas, okay? It's a little bit of a weird place to talk about, but it exists, and it's really important for bladder control, for core engagement, for any kind of erectile dysfunction for men. Again, fun topics to have with your clients, or fun conversations. So I would do about 3 sets of 10 to 12 of those, resting about 30 seconds in between a set. Okay, our next exercise will be chest lifts. So, very basic exercise in Pilates. The most basic way to do it would be to keep your feet on the mat, again, keeping a neutral pelvis. My low back is not rounded into the mat, and I have a flat pubic bone. My rib cage is calm. You can float the arms off the mat. I'm going to show you some progressions here. So I'm going to take an inhale here. I'm having my chin slightly tucked towards my chest. Inhale to prepare. As I exhale, I'm going to just round my rib cage forward, look through, and then come back down. The key to this is, again, keeping the pelvis still. Okay, so I'm going to do it with my arms up. You're going to see that nothing moves down here. The tendency will be to tuck and let your butt grip. Wrong, okay? That's not it. So this would be your beginners. You can even hold your head behind your hands, but I would prefer for a modification to take your long towel, put it behind your head, rest your head into the towel, hold the towel at the ends, fire with your shoulder blades down your back so you engage your triceps, float the head off the mat and hold it, just let it hang into the towel. You're now holding it from your triceps here. And again, it's a rib cage wheel. I'm literally just wheeling my rib cage forward and back down. This would be beginner. This would be more advanced with your legs up. And like in between those two would be a relaxed tabletop. But I'm not letting the bottom half of my body move. If I had a Dixie cup on my pubic bone, I cannot spill it. That's another great way to think about it. And then when you get more advanced, you can use the arms here. Make sure you're in a good tabletop. I was not. And then you can add like variations and all that to it. So that's number 3. Number 4 would be to do some knee circles. I love this exercise. It's great. I'm going to float after my breath cycle into tabletop. I'm going to keep my shins in line with my knees, and I'm going to circle the legs. I'm drawing a small circle. I love to imagine there's a crayon on my kneecap. And I'm just drawing a circle, probably no bigger than, let's say, a grapefruit. Not very big. I prefer an orange, especially for beginners. Here's your modification.
dropping the shins, doing it with no shins. Remember, you're really only working the movement from your thighs. You want to imagine you're stirring your thigh bone in to the socket. Again, neutral pelvis, no movement in the pelvis. That's what makes all of this so hard. You can hear my voice. So I'm going to inhale the legs away. I'm always going to exhale, re-engage with that pelvic floor lift, corset as I come back to start. I would do about 10 or 12 in this direction, and then in the opposite direction, and then rest. Beginners, you might just want to do 6 in one direction, 6 in another, 3 sets, rest 30 seconds in between. Let's see, that's on 4. Okay, last one here are going to be toe taps into a double leg hinge. So the last exercise I'm going to try here is I'm going to, again, float the legs up into a tabletop. I'm going to take a breath because right now I'm gripping in my six-pack. I don't want that. I want to go below there. So I'm going to inhale, lift through my pelvic floor, corset myself. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to send, keeping my legs in the tabletop, to send the right leg forward a little bit, not far, and then back. And I'm really going to start to shake with this one. My goal is to, every time to bring the leg back up, I'm going to exhale, try to relax the rib cage to bring the leg back up. Inhale. Relax the rib cage to bring it back up. So these toe taps are really training the psoas muscle that your legs hang from. Backing up. For 3. I'm videoing it. What?
Who are you talking to?
The video. It's for my father-in-law. It's okay. You're like, what's going on? My client's here. So just tapping forward, back, and back. And then after and in between exercises, you'll really want to hug your knees into your chest, relax your low back. I also like just putting the feet down, twisting to one side, and then just twisting to another side. And then always when you're going to get up and you're new, hold on to the back of the leg and help yourself on it. So those are great, 5 great exercises to get you to strengthen your core, strengthen your pelvic floor connection, and your low back. It's amazing. It will work. If you do it daily, I promise you, you'll see a difference. Hope this info helped.